You want to hear the truth? Your teenage years are your best years is a lie. So stop feeling pressured that you should be having tons of fun and don't worry about being super productive all the time. I'm 27 and I can guarantee that if you do it the right way, you're going to have a great life for years to come and actually be happy right now. Because that was my experience and that of my friends who are all living their dream lives with me. And this video could be the most important thing you watch because it could save you years of regret. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to do more things. You have enough on your plate without me telling you to read or meditate or do a side hustle. Think about a toxic boyfriend or girlfriend. I promise this is relevant to you, hang tight. You're emotionally attached to them. They distract you all the time. You know they're bad for you, but you just can't see a life outside of them. Breaking up feels worse than staying. But guess what? In a toxic relationship, the more you stay means the more years you waste, and the more disadvantages they will create for you down the line. And when you finally leave, all you regret is that you didn't leave sooner. Here's the thing. Your teenage years are so hard because there are multiple toxic relationships in your life right now, and I'll reveal what they are in this video. But guess what? That's also why it's so easy for you to level up, because it doesn't require more work. You actually just need to cut the toxic things out. Cutting those toxins got me my dream life and will give you yours. So here's how to make the most of your teenage years by detaching from these 3 toxic relationships. Let's go. Number 1, how much does peer pressure affect you? Do you edit yourself to fit in? Through 99% of my teenage years, I was constantly feeling left out. I did math competitions, and even though I was on the basketball and volleyball teams, I was certainly not part of the star players or the cool girl squad. Imagine going into a locker room where all the girls are laughing, and then when they see you walk in, they just fall silent and don't say anything to you. Not to mention I never went to parties, I rarely went to the football games, you name it. But guess what? Over a decade later, now I feel old, but the people who made me feel small before, I don't even remember their names anymore. They are just so irrelevant, and I leveled up so much that I never peaked when I was younger. And that is all because I detached from my peers' opinions. When you're young, it's easy to put too much weight on your peers. But that could be the worst thing you do because the choices you make in those 7 teenage years affect what college you go to, what major you study, what skills you have, all the characteristics that actually make you cool and successful later down the line for the rest of your life. In reality, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Your peers are the worst person in the world to listen to. They may seem like your world right now, but I promise that most of them are not going to end up nearly where you're going to be, because most of them are not even trying to develop themselves like you are right now. Listen to people who have proof, if they've actually accomplished something in their lives that you look up to. Never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. What I found to be really helpful is to simply reframe what I'm doing as something cool. Studying longer than other people, joining additional clubs, putting in extra practice hours in the gym. These are all things that the 25-year-old me would find cool. The more that you distract yourself by simply putting in the work, the more conviction you will have in yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's easy to be just unbothered, but you must power through. Number 2, perhaps your most toxic relationship yet. You know it's bad, but you keep coming back over and over again, yet you regret it every time. And that is your phone. You need to break up with your phone. This tiny block of metal has become an emotional crutch to the point that you have a stronger relationship with your phone than a single human being. Social media, games, etc. are enabling you to continue being lonely, distracting you from the other parts of your life, and allowing you to feel like it's okay to not take action because you don't have enough time, when we all know that your screen time is like 4 hours. Your brain is not only rotting, but it's being brainwashed by the marketing constantly on those apps. The influencers are making it seem like what you need to care about is status, or looking skinny, or pretty, or being rich more than any other thing. Your frontal cortex is not fully developed, so you don't know how to discern between what is a good and bad influence for you. And you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, some of which are influencers. For me, even without social media being as huge as it is today, I would be constantly tempted to waste time and waste money on status symbols like the cool Hollister shirts or the Miss Me jeans and other material things that don't matter nearly as much as building my own human capital. But remember that, like with everything, your phone is a tool, and if you want to learn how to leverage your phone to make you better, then just take it from Malcolm. I created a coaching app called Exec that helps you achieve your goals by adapting to your schedule and tracking your habits.
The Exec is doing a good job. It's personable and supportive, and every morning the Exec contact with me and the evenings the debrief kept me focused on a few things, so I never really lost sort of track. It's almost as smart as I am with all my years of experience.
Third toxic relationship, and this comes from your parents, your peers, social media, and yourself. and that is your expectations. I tell you all the time that you have high potential, but I know that this can add stress as well, because you could be sitting there like, oh my gosh, I know that I'm smart, I know I have these skills, I know that I can do XYZ, but I just don't see any progress made. And look, oh, there's another 15-year-old who just made a billion-dollar startup, and oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. I was a relatively accomplished student. I did 11 AP classes, got 5s in all of them, won some state and regional math competitions. So when junior year rolled around and my ACT score was high enough to be considered for these top schools that I never actually thought about before, my brain attached to Stanford, and I became so emotionally lashed onto this toxic relationship with my expectations. But then guess what? Senior year comes and I get rejected, and I was devastated. My first huge failure, and I did not know where life was going to go from there, because I had expected my whole life to work out if I just get into Stanford. And here's the crazy thing. Now I know that not getting into Stanford was the best thing that could have happened to me, because I went to Caltech and then I did a summer internship in Southern California. Then I met my husband. You can only connect the dots looking backwards, not forwards. And you are not supposed to have life figured out. Trust me, bunch of 20-year-olds, 30-something-year-olds, 40-something-year-olds, no one has their life figured out. It makes no sense that a teenager is supposed to choose their major that's going to inform the rest of their lives. So I chose chemical engineering. Then guess what? I just wasted all of those years of studying the difficult thermodynamics, organic chemistry by going into business management consulting as my first job. Then I threw that away, wasted it, and then did YouTube. Life and growth is not a linear journey. And the best way to protect your mental peace is to stop expecting that it will be. You might worry about what your passion is, what you're good at, who you are. But who you are is not something you should discover. It's something you build. And a key that I wish I knew earlier is that what makes you weird and what you just get super excited about is also what will make you cool and successful. Now, why do people stay in toxic relationships? Because having something bad feels better than not having anything at all. So when you don't have something positive to hang on to, you will latch onto something else. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. But putting yourself first means that you have to flip that. Being single is better than being with someone that makes your life harder. And how do you detach? When is being single better? When your life is already full. So the solution for you to detach from those 3 toxic relationships is to make your life full outside of those things. Be more selfish. Do what makes you happy. You have no real responsibilities. Go try every single club at your school just because you want to. Spend more time with your family. Trust me, you're going to wish you did that more. Be creative in some way. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you think you're not a creative person, go bake, paint, make videos just for your enjoyment. If you fight against these 3 toxins, your life will go on a completely different trajectory and become way better than you imagined, and you'll look back at your teenage self and be like, thank goodness for younger me. I wish I had an older sister at the time to reassure me and tell me to continue going, even when things were hard, even when I was different from the other kids at school. So that's why I'm telling you this now. Detaching is critical, but maybe you need some more tips on how to actually do it. So here I share the ultimate guide to detachment to the point where I was able to detach myself from my childhood best friend. Remember that my app exec is linked below, Malcolm approved. Comment below if this video made you realize anything, if you're going to take action, because you better, otherwise you just wasted a 12 or so minutes. Thank you so much. Own your life or someone else will. Thanks, and I already said thanks. See you at the top.